Humans are visual creatures, so visual that colors can play a vital role in influencing our purchasing decisions. In fact, in a study done by Performable, they tested out whether green buttons or red buttons will have a higher conversion rate. And they found that red buttons increase their conversion rate by up to 21%. In other words, they increase their conversion rate without changing anything about their page except for the colors of the buttons. And that, my friend, is the power of marketing color psychology. But why is this? What is it about certain colors that spark people to take action? And how do you know which colors to use so you can improve your own marketing? Well, in this video, I'm gonna touch on the psychology of marketing colors. Stay tuned. So today I'm gonna talk about something very important, and there's a lot of stress that goes around that, and it is how do I pick my brand colors? And your brand colors are essentially like the 5 or 6 colors that you use to represent your brand. And the reason that this is so important is because there is actually like a massive amount of psychology behind colors. You might have heard about it. It's called color theory or color psychology, and it really influences the way that people buy. And your brand colors also say a lot about your brand and what is it that you do. So let's jump right in. But before we get started, just remember to follow along with my journey. Click that like button and click that subscribe button and turn on your notification, and let's get right into it. Why is this important? Why is having brand colors important? Well, it's because you want to be consistent. I like to talk this a lot, and it's about building brand consistency. To have brand colors that basically you saying like, I'm going to decide to use these few colors to represent my brand. So that it's gonna appear everywhere and it's gonna look the same everywhere. So that's about being consistent. And the second thing is, like I said before, your colors say a lot about your brand and what is it that you do. Many people will make a decision within 5 seconds of looking at your brand, and if the colors are off-putting or don't match or doesn't match their internal representation, what it is that they think that you do, you are gonna create some distrust and they're gonna hesitate on deciding on you. So what's really interesting is that in different industries, there's actually a pattern for what colors that they use. For example, for pharmaceuticals or in cereal brands, you might see a lot of blues, and then in anything related to like the earth or related to money, you'll see greens. So you can see here, there's already a trend towards which industries and what colors they use, and that is because of color psychology. So how you can start thinking about choosing your brand colors is being very clear on your messaging. You really need to understand what are your brand personality traits and also who are your target customers. If you have both of these aligned perfectly, you will know what colors will represent both, and it will be like the perfect happy medium to make both sides happy. If you're a brand about happiness and about opportunity, happiness, and creating this like the amazing life that you want, it might look like yellows and blues and something that's very bright. If your target audience are children, you know those colors work very well together. But if your target audience is women or seniors, you might want to put in like a pink or purple in there. So there's a lot of things to think about. I'll just say that again, be very clear on who you are targeting. Understand your brand personality traits and who you are as a brand and what you want to represent in the brand. And then also understand your target audience because your colors need to match both so that it appeals to both sides. So that's number one. Then the second thing is understanding color psychology and color theory. But for example, the color red is all about excitement and passion. And then you have oranges and your yellow. Orange is more about being energetic and being active. And then the yellows are about optimism and cheer and happiness, like I said before. And then green is nature and healing. It has a lot of different vibes there, and blue is to traditionally use in the tech world and also to build trust. So you'll have different shades of blue. You'll see banks, they use blue. You see tech companies, they use blue. And then purple is more about creativity and individuality. Purple is also very like a regal color, so a lot of royals will use the purple. And then you have pink, which is about romance. It's very young, it's very poppy, right? And black, you have luxury and sophistication. It's like the elite color. It is darkness, like it is manliness. So you can see here that certain colors create different emotion. I'd encourage you to kind of play a game with me, right? So think about a color in your head and then close your eyes. And what are the emotions and what are the memories that come up with you when you think of that certain color? And if you're able to think of that, that already proves that different colors create different emotions. So you want to make sure that you align the right feelings and emotions into your brand using the colors that you pick. And then how you go about actually picking colors is you're going to pick about 3 to 4 colors in the beginning. You're going to have your base colors and your accent colors and your neutrals. Other people might refer to this as your primary colors, your complementary colors, and your neutral colors, right? They're all the same thing. It's basically like what's the color you're going to use the most, what's the other color you're going to use to accent this main color, and then what are all the like background colors that you can think about. There's a lot of resources online that you can use to kind of just create these color palettes. Once again, I have another video that I will come up where I will share with you all these resources. That's something to think about. You just want to look at different colors and you can pick top 3 or 4 that you think are very complementary and that represents your brand the best. And other ways to get some ideas is you can look at people in your niche. Look at other businesses in your niche and see what colors that they're using. And you can do this across 10 different companies, and that will give you an idea of what other people are used to in your niche. So if you were to go polar opposite, there might be a bit scary because you've gone too far out. But at the same time, you don't want to just blend in and be like everyone else in the niche. So for example, if everybody in the niche is using this one shade of blue, maybe you don't want to use that shade of blue. You want to use another shade of blue that's similar. So it's starting to think like that of how do I have this happy medium of doing what people are used to in my niche, but also standing out in my niche. And those are things that you can play with. And then another way that you can get really creative with choosing your brand colors is by creating a mood board. And a mood board is where you pull together all the colors and all the images and vibes that you like the most. And then you put them on a page, and then you look at what are the colors that are showing up across these images that are really standing out to me. And then you can you kind of pick your colors like that. So Canva, you can actually go and use. There's a lot of tools online where you can just upload an image and it will pull out the color palettes of that image for you. So then you can kind of take an average of few photos that you like. You'll be able to pull out the colors that you want to use in your color palette. So I can drop that link below in the description and you can start playing around with this yourself. And even if you were to Google color palette generator, you'll find so many different resources that can help you get started. So just remember, don't be paralyzed. It's not as hard as it seems, and always you can adjust as you start building your business. You might not get it right the first time. Even me, I'm constantly pivoting and testing my color palettes based on the feedback that I get from my audience and the direction that I'm going in with my branding. So do not be scared. In the beginning, if you want to just pick one color and then have the other ones very like background neutral ones, that's perfectly fine. Some people just have one color or two colors. And then as you grow, you start to figure out what the rest of your colors are. There is no making mistakes. It's better that you do something than you don't do something. So I'll just recap once again. What's very important is that you understand your brand personality traits and who your target audience is. And then once you have that, you can start looking at other people in your niche. You can start doing some research and then picking out 3 to 4 colors that you love the most, that most represent your brand. Try them out in the beginning. You might not get them right. However, you can always go back in and change it because people love what you do. They're not in love with your brand colors. It always change, right? So I hope that this video helps. But otherwise, just keep watching the next videos because you will find so much useful information in this space. So if there's anybody that you know that is struggling with their brand, please share this video with them and like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video.